Hi. So it is time for part 5 of the Shadowhunter Chronicles. I'm going to be reading Clockwork Prince for the very first time. Now, I recently did my Clockwork Angel vlog, so make sure you go and check that out, as well as all of the first 3 Mortal Instrument ones, because it will contain spoilers. I intended to make this quite spoiler filled, so anyone that had read them could. So make sure you go and do it. So me and Mel have agreed to read this one. I'm very excited because the first one, Clockwork Angel, ended off on a little bit of a cliffhanger, and it left a few unanswered questions that I was not best pleased about. I bring it on. I'm very excited. I found out that this is 500 pages exactly, which is a lot of pages. I've just come off a 26 book in a month challenge. I don't know if I'm ready for a chonker, but I'm going to do it. I am filming this now, but I am going to bed because I'm tired. So I'm going to get up in the morning and read. I just wanted to film this quick introduction because I ain't doing that in the morning. I'm going to lie there and cabbage for a bit while I read. I'm kind of terrified, but really excited to read this. I spoke to Robbie a bit earlier today, and he told me that this entire series is absolutely amazing, but if he had to pick one that was the least great, he would pick this one. Which is weird, because I then said to him, for no reason, because I don't know what any of the plots are, I kind of see this one on my shelf and I look at it and I'm like, that one's going to be my favourite. 100%, I know I'm going to love it, I know I will. And I don't know why. So Robbie said it's probably the worst of the 3, but it's not bad by any means. I have a suspicion that it might be my favourite. I'm interested to know. So I'm going to get reading this as soon as I wake up in the morning. I will vlog my experience and we'll see how I go. So I will see you guys in the morning. Hopefully I will get a good chunk of the way in.
So I just finished the prologue, and Will's just asked for a hatred potion, or an indifference potion, or a tolerance potion. Anything to stop him being in love. It makes me feel emotional. I want him to find love because it might make me like him, because I remembered from the last book I hated him because he was a rude little bugger. I'm excited to find out now. I'm enjoying this. I'm only literally read the prologue. So I still got some more to go. But I'm excited.
I think we all need to accept that Jem is precious and I love him. One thing I will say about Will's character is that he is very witty. He's very dry and so funny. Like, that is my humour. Ask any of my friends, that is the humour I have. And it's just so funny because Jem has just said something like, he's just said reparations as in response. He's kind of just come to a realisation. And Will's just looked at him and said, is this a game? We just blurt out whatever word comes next to mind. In that case, mine's genophobia. It means an unreasonable fear of knees. And it's just my kind of humour because he's not being nice about it. He's literally just saying, you could have just said this. Instead, you didn't. And it's just really funny that he has that same humour as me. And it makes it kind of ironic that I don't like his character that much. Because I have a heart. Buried beneath the hatred for humans, I do have a heart. And Will's kind of demonstrating that, and that is what I love about his character, and that is the time where I fall in love with his character. And I want to see more of that, so come on, Will, give me more, man, give me more. Right, so to clear up a few things from the last book, the unanswered question of why was Will going to Bane at the end kind of cleared up because Will has had a curse put on him by a demon. Apparently it was like 5 years ago though, so that's interesting. But he's now gone to Bane to see if he can get the curse removed, and Bane has a feeling it's because of Tessa, but Will won't tell us what the damn curse is yet, and I need to know. This is stressful. I need to know what this curse is, guys. I really, really do. But I'm enjoying this so far. I'm currently on page 52, so I'm not too far in, but I'm taking it slow. My goal is to do about 100 pages a day, which is definitely doable, and I'm happy with that. So I'm happy with how it's going. I love the characters. I've started really liking Jessamine as well, which was very unexpected. I love Jem. You know, we all know I'm in love with Jem. I like Will's sarcastic humour. I think he's actually really funny. I just want him to be nice so I can fall in love with him. But I'm liking it because I'm liking the characters. I'm not hating the main group anymore. Um, they did just mention that they're going to send somebody to replace Agatha, though, and I was really sad. And Thomas, but I didn't really care about Thomas. But Agatha made me really sad. And I hope Sophie's okay. We don't see her much, but she is coming in on the next page because I've just seen her name. And I miss Sophie. I'm very happy. I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm dancing.
So,
boop, boop, boop. Just a random little snippet because it's just got in my head now. They're talking about, it's Bane and Will are talking about how Jem is ill, and they're saying that they have such a close bond. Jem's death will be so painful for Will. And it's making me think, and it's starting to make me believe that Jem is going to die before the end of this series. I think he'll die near the end of Clockwork Princess. That's another theory I'm having. And now I'm thinking about that and it's really upsetting me. I hope that's not true. But I think it could happen. Because you don't mention how ill a character is unless something's going to come of it a bit later.
Will having a memory rune makes so much sense. And it clears so much things up. I'm actually quite annoyed that I didn't get that before. Dang it. So I'm on chapter 4 now. I'm enjoying it. I'm really liking Will. Which is very strange. It's quite a big leap from hating him at the end of the last book. But he's given me no reason to dislike him this time. I'm really enjoying it. I'm happy with the book. I'm going to carry on. I have one more chapter, which, to be fair, is like 25 pages, something like that. So I've got a while to go. And then at the end, once I've got to my 100 pages, I will give you a full recap on how I'm feeling about it so far. So I'll chat to you then.
I don't know whether in the last vlog I mentioned that Church was in this book, but Church is in these books. And I think it's a nice little cameo. It's a nice little nod to the Mortal Instruments. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, that cat's old. And I'm assuming he's a magical cat and the age is irrelevant. But now I'm also sat here like, how the hell did this cat get from London to America? So I'm interested, and I hope they explain that. I'm going to make an assumption that he travelled over there with someone, but I still want answers. This needs to be explained, guys. This needs explaining.
So here are some things that really confuse me or bother me. I don't know what they do, but they give me cause for concern. So, what's it called? Will is a Herondale. In the future, Jace is a Herondale. Charlotte is technically a Fairchild, and then she got married and became something else. But she was a Fairchild at birth. And Jocelyn is a Fairchild. So Clary is a Fairchild. So Clary is a descendant of Charlotte, maybe, and Henry? But then why would they be called Fairchild? A cousin? I don't know how this family tree works, but I'm like, they're all descendants of the people from the Infernal Devices. And I'm just like, why are you all in London now and then travelling all to America later on? Like, I know it's kind of thingy, just a bit of a joke and a bit of an in, but I'm just a bit like, really, guys? That's where you're going with this? I know it sounds stupid, but I just don't know how to feel about it because I feel as though it's taking me out of the story a bit. It's no criticism to the story. I still love it up to now. And I'm really enjoying it. It's just that tiny little thing of you're trying to force a lot of homages from the Mortal Instruments in to try and make us fall in love with these characters. And I love these characters naturally anyway, so you don't need to force that in. But it just seems a bit stupid that all of the families from the Mortal Instruments series are all in London now in the Infernal Devices series. Like, everyone isn't going to stay together that entire time and then move cities wherever it fits, surely. that
I've
bothers
just
me
got
a
to
bit.
chapter 5, which is page 105, and I thought that'd be a nice place to stop because I did say 100 pages a day is my aim, like my minimum. And I thought it'd be a good idea to give a recap on where I'm at, what's happened, how I'm feeling overall, just so you know what I'm feeling with everything up to now. So I've just got to the part where Tessa, Jem, and Will have gone up to York to see the leader of the York Institute to find out what happened with the whole Mortmain thing years ago. And I'm really enjoying the story. It's quite interesting. I'm loving these characters more. I know at the end of the last vlog I said I really didn't like Jessamine. I really had issues with Will and his attitude. I'm really liking them now, and they have grown on me so much more. I feel as though we've got quite a bit of plot already, which is really good because I know a big thing of Cassandra Clare is she is very good at writing endings of books and it's very high action, whereas the start, not much happens. And I feel as though quite a lot is happening. I'm really enjoying it. I knew I would enjoy it. I kind of thought I would. I don't really know where it's going to lead, so I'm interested to find out that. Like, I don't really know what the plot is. I know what they have to do. I know what they're doing, but I can't say, oh, it's going to end when this happens because I have absolutely no idea. And I'm finding it quite interesting to not know that, and I like that. And overall, I haven't really made any assumptions or predictions. I have made a prediction that I think Jem is going to die, but I think that prediction is going to happen in the next book. So I don't really have anything for this book yet. I think Will and Tessa are going to get a lot closer, but I feel as though that's kind of an obvious thing. And I'm hoping we find out what Will's curse is in this book because I want to know what this is. I'm kind of finding it quite interesting. And I want to know why especially it's brought Tessa, like why Tessa coming into the story has made him want to find a cure for it. So I really want to know what's happening with that situation. Basically, I'm really liking it. But they keep drilling in about this Parabatai thing, and that's the connection between Will and Jem. They have such a close, like, brotherly bond, but it's kind of like a soulmate bond. They've just explained it quite well. It's more than just taking care of each other. It's being duty bound to care for one another and being duty bound to sacrifice your life for the other person. You can only have it once in your life. You can never break away from that bond once it has been put in because you have to go through a ritual. And I'm really liking that story, but I feel as though it's such an important part of the story that it's making me think it's going to play a big part. So I think book 3, I'm thinking about Jem and his illness and things like that. I'm thinking it's going to play a big part in book 3. I feel as though Will is going to be in some trouble and Jem is going to sacrifice his life for him because we know that we know that Jem's dying anyway, and we know that Will and Jem have this thing, and I think it'd be a really honourable way for Jem to go out rather than dying from his illness. But I'm also thinking if Cassandra Clare wanted to do a bit of a switch up, it'd be quite interesting to see if this illness that Jem's got could be transferred in some way and Will would take it from him, or Will would sacrifice his life to save Jem and maybe make Jem better. See, that's the thing. In my head, I'm thinking it's so obvious Will and Tessa are going to be together because that's always endgame. Her and Jem have no chance. And then I'm thinking, well, there could potentially be ways, and if that happened, it'd be really interesting to see. But at the same time, I'm also like, well, if Will did die and she ended up with Jem, it'd just be a case of my first choice didn't become an option. I'm rambling now. I don't really know what I'm feeling. I'm really enjoying the story. I'm loving it. I feel as though the action, the drama is building, and I'm very excited to get to the next chapter because I feel as though we're going to learn so much. And yeah, I'm liking it. I'm very intrigued. And I'm just wondering where it's going to lead and what's going to happen. That's what I really want to know. because I can't, for the life of me, think of what the plot line is going to be for the rest of this story, which I like. So I'm going to chill out now. I'm going to give up for the night. Maybe. I might carry on a bit later on. But it's about 10 o'clock, so I'm going to chill out, watch some YouTube, and start again first thing in the morning.
Good morning. So I was going to update you a bit later on, because not really that much has happened, but something's just popped up that I wanted to mention before I forgot about it. So they're talking to the fella from the York Institute, the Starkweather guy, and they're talking about Mortmain's parents, who are warlocks, so technically are not his parents, but they are his parents. I don't understand how it works yet. They're saying that they stole a book, and that's the Book of White. Now, I know there is a Cassandra Clare book coming out this year. I think it's next month or something, which is called The Lost Book of White. So it might be about that. So that's very interesting, because now I'm not entirely sure where that trilogy of books stands. Do I need to read the Red Scrolls of Magic and the Lost Book of White and whatever the third one is before I read these? Or is it okay for me to go and read them afterwards? I'm going to assume it's okay to read them afterwards, because I think they was written after this, so they'll only add to it as opposed to have crucial information that I need. I think the technical reading order is I was meant to read them before these, but she's not even finished writing them yet, so how am I meant to do that? But it's interesting, because now I don't know where they fit into the series. So if you know like where they fit in, let me know in the comments, because I'm very interested to know where I need to read these. Because obviously there's going to be 3. There's the Red Scrolls of Magic. I might just be making these titles up, by the way. The Red Scrolls of Magic, the Lost Book of White, which is out soon, and then next year it'll be the something something black something. I know it's the color black, but I don't really know. Oh, sorry. I don't really know what it's about. So if you know where I have to read these books in this chronological read through, let me know, because I am really interested, because none of the ones I found online tell me where I need to read it. I think I found one that said I needed to read it before the Infernal Devices. So let me know, because I'm interested. And I also need to know, because I need to buy them and read them. Obviously, the second book isn't even out yet, so the third book's definitely not. So if I have to read them soon, I'm just going to read the first 1/2, depending on when I get it, and then I'll have to go back for the third one. Because I can't imagine that they're so crucial, because they're still being written, so I feel like they'll only come into play and be important, like crucially important, with any future books, not ones that are already written, if that makes sense. That's all I have to say. Let me know in the comments if you know where I meant to read them, and also if you've read any of them, let me know what the deal is. Let me know if I can read them anywhere, or whether I have to read them in a specific order. Bye! I'll catch up with you when something important happens, because really nothing's happening at the moment.
Tessa's just had a dream, and it's about Henry taking her apart, like she was part of a clockwork machine, and basically just took apart her heart and things like that. And they was just saying, it's just a daft dream, don't worry about it. And then I started thinking, well, what a very strange thing to put in there if it was nothing. So now I'm starting to get feelings of like, can we trust Henry? Is something going to happen that makes him like turn out to be a bad guy? I mean, I hope that's not the case. I don't think that'll be the case. Henry is a very lovable character. He's become one of the favourites. Him and Charlotte together are my power couple. I absolutely love them. I can't see him being a bad guy. But it's interesting to consider, like, why he, of all people, would be in this dream. I obviously know because Henry's the inventor. He likes taking things apart, stuff like that. And Tessa knows him, but what a very weird inclusion. Because in this dream, she also had the Dark Sisters from book 1 who tortured her. She saw Mortmain, she saw Nate, and it's all people who we know we can't trust. and then one random snippet of Henry, and I'm like, is this a little bit of foreshadowing, or is this a bit of a red herring? Or is it just a bit of random writing that you thought, Henry's an inventor, maybe I'll put him in there as well? Who knows? I'd like to believe we can trust Henry, but I don't know now. The more I'm talking about it, usually when I talk about these theories, I either convince myself that I'm wrong or I convince myself that I'm right. And I'm starting to convince myself that I'm right. Now I'm scared.
Who the frick is Cecily? Found out who Cecily was.
So this damn angel's just come and saved Tessa's life again. I need to know what's going on with this. Why hasn't it told me yet? Obviously because it wants to build suspense, but that is not a good enough excuse. I need to know. Does this mean what I think it means? Does it? Does it? Are we going to find out what the curse is? Do we find out what's going on with Will? Do we find out? Do we find out? I hope we find out. If we don't find out in this, I'm going to be really, really mad. Oh my god, this chat starts with Magnus, even better.
Will and Magnus have some absolute deep banter, and I love it because they're both just as sarcastic and witty and dry as anybody I've ever met, and I absolutely love that because that's my sense of humour. We've mentioned that. But they also have such deep, meaningful chats. Like, Will is confiding in Magnus like I've never seen him confide in anyone, even Jem, and I just think that's beautiful. And I'm really starting to love Will. I'm actually scared to read on because I don't want to find out what this curse is, because I love him so much. My life is a struggle. So we just found out what the curse was. And now I'm feeling really emotional. I feel really bad. I hate that it's making me feel guilty. Because Will has been such a horrible character all the way through book one, and now we know why. And I feel like an absolute tosser for calling him. I feel as though I needed a warning about this, and no one warned me, you bastards. So Robbie's just asked me for my opinion on the curse thing, and I've said really I didn't mention it in this vlog because I didn't really consider it. I think I really liked it because it gave me a better understanding of Will's character. It's made me really relate to him and understand him more, and I like that. I also like that it makes him a bit more redeemable, because any other excuse I feel as though it would have just been a bit like, you were still awful though, so I can't really, there's just some things you can't forgive. So I feel as though it's definitely made him more likeable. But I was just saying to Robbie, and I wasn't going to include it, but then I thought, well, it's probably quite important too. There is a part of me that feels as though it's a little bit of a cop-out to have the curse be that anyone who loves him dies. Just because it's an easy way of making a character a dick, but redeemable. And I just think, if you're going to write a character as rude in the first installment, commit. Like, you've got to commit to it. You've got to make him have an arc that makes us fall back in love with him after him being so horrible. Having this, it's just kind of but we've got to love him now, and I'm just a bit like, well, okay, that's the easy way to go about it. I just feel as though it was a bit too simplistic, a bit of an easy cop-out answer. And like I say, it wasn't a big feeling. It's not changed any of my opinions in the book, because I do really like the explanation of the curse. I do like how it's made me feel about Will. But when Robbie asked me, like, what were my thoughts about it, I really started having a think, and I just thought, well, I suppose if we're being really nitpicky, that is a cop-out way to do it. It is an easy way to do it, because it's making us go from thinking a character is a bit rude and obnoxious and awful to then madly being in love with him because he's not really evil, he's just pretending to be evil. Just, you know what I'm saying. You're feeling me. I'm hoping you're feeling me. Please feel me. Emotionally feel me.
So I've just got to page 200, and my god, so much is going on. Like, things got a little bit steamy between Tessa and Jem, to the point where they were just about to do it, and then she was stupid. She knocked over his drugs, and because he is addicted to them and he needs them to live, he basically made her leave so that he could pick them up and still have a bit of dignity in doing that. It was very sad. It was actually quite an emotional moment, that, for me. But they got a little bit steamy, more than I ever thought they would, because I kind of on the belief that it's fairly obvious Tessa and Will are going to end up together. I didn't expect anything beyond, a little smooch from Jem and Tessa. It went a little bit far. I feel like if she didn't knock the drugs over, that were going all the way. And I like it. I think it's cute. I think Jem will treat her so nicely. Now I'm at a point where I think Will treat her nicely as well, but I don't know. This is difficult because I don't like love triangles or love V's, whatever Robbie calls them. I don't really like them. I don't agree with them as a plot device. I think they're just overused, and this is one of those times where I think it's overused because I think it's kind of obvious the way it's going to go. And I think that's still the case. I still think it's quite obvious despite the fact this has happened with Jem, and I'm interested to see how far this relationship is willing to go. Because let's not forget, this is set in the 1800s. Them doing that is actually very scandalous. And then on top of that, there's now this weird thing with Jessamine. She's not really been in it that much, and that was a complaint I had from the first book. But I didn't like her that much in the first book. I like her character now in this, but she's not really in it. And it's an ongoing problem I have that she is hardly in this book. And same with Charlotte at the moment, actually, and Henry. They're hardly in it either. I feel like this book is very focused on Will, Jem, and Tessa, which, they're the main characters. You can't complain about that. But I do feel a bit like the other characters are kind of pushed to the side a little bit. Like, even in The Mortal Instruments, Alec and Isabel, and they still get, like, a good amount of screen time, page time, I don't know. They get a lot of time, whereas I don't think Charlotte, Henry, and Jessamine do. And it's quite sad. I feel like Sophie has had more page time in this book than Jessamine has. I honestly do, because Sophie's in it quite a bit. But yeah, we've got this thing with Jessamine now about the she's dressing up as a man and walking around, and I'm wondering what's going on with that, because I don't really know what to think. It's very confusing. Like, she's saying she wants to find a man to marry so that she can live a normal life. So initially I was like, oh, she's trying to just go out and live a normal life. She's dressing up so people don't recognize her or whatever. And then I thought, but if she wants to meet a man who will fall in love with her and she can become human or stop being a shadow hunter, then she wouldn't be dressing up as a man, because I don't think a man in the 1800s would find that attractive. He wouldn't naturally see her as a woman. He wouldn't think, yes, this is a woman I want to marry. So it's quite, I don't know what's going on. It's very interesting. I want to know what's going on, because I have absolutely no idea. Like, it's still very early in the day. I said it's not that early. It's 20 to 4. But I said I wanted to get 100 pages a day. I'm now on page 215, which is chapter 10. I'm going to take a break because I did hit that and I'm proud. So I'm going to take a break, have a snack, do whatever I want to do. And then I might actually go back to it and read a little bit more. I don't know, but it'd be nice. This book is precisely 500 pages. So it might be nice to get to page 250 today. I would really like that. But I'll just say, I'm not putting any pressure on myself because I had a very pressured month last month. This is a nice chill month. I'm just going to take it as it comes. I'm going to chill out, watch some TV while I'm having a snack. Might start a new book. We'll see how I'm doing.
So I just said to Robbie that the next chapter in this book was like 33 pages long, and he was like, yes, but there is a reason that it's 33 pages. So I was like, all right. So I had a bit of free time, so I thought I'm going to carry on, because if there's a reason, I'm a bit interested. There was no reason. There was nothing new in that chapter. I was very disappointed.
Like, stuff happened in the chapter, but it was nothing new. Didn't provide us with any information. The way he said it kind of made me think it was going to be very dramatic, and I was like, oh, I'm ready. And then I was like, no, that was rubbish. So I feel cheated. So I'm on chapter 11, which is page 242. So I'm going to leave it there.
I've just got an update on the Jessamine story. The ball thing she's been invited to by Nate. I mean, I'm a bit shooketh. I'm hoping that Jessamine's not, like, in on it with them. I don't think she is. She's a bitch, but she's a loyal bitch. I mean, unless she gets a chance to leave. That could work. But I think she's undercover.
Sophie kills me. She's just full on conked Jessamine on the head and knocked her out. Why is Sophie needs a spin-off. I love her. I love her so much.
I've just got to chapter 13, which is page 306, and I feel as though quite a lot has happened at this time. So they've gone to this party that Jessamine was meant to be meeting Nate at. And Tessa's gone as Jessamine. That was kind of obvious, in my opinion, that was going to happen. Will's gone to protect her in disguise. Turns out they're thinking Jessamine's been working with Nate, and to the point where they're married. Like, I don't know what to think. I don't know whether Jessamine's still to be trusted or not now. Obviously, I feel as though it's pointing in the direction of, no, you can't trust her, which makes me feel as though we can trust her and she is undercover. It's very confusing. But Tessa got it on with Will, because, you know, she's just playing the field, trying out all the lads before she picks one. Wouldn't be surprised if she tried it on with Magnus next, because they're together now. And Will's found the demon that cursed him, so he's chased after him and now he's gone missing. So I'm stressed out now because I want to know what's happening with that. That is the part of the story I care about. I want to know what's happening with this. So I'm really glad about that. I've got up to chapter 13, which is the Mortal Sword. Page 306. I'm going to aim to get to 350 today, because I ended last night on 250, so I still want to do the 100 pages a day, even though I did more yesterday. I still want to do 100 today, so I have 50 more to do, which is fine. I'm going to take a short break and chill out for 10 minutes, because I have been on and off reading all day. It's been quite a chilled day, really. Been chatting to some friends, been chatting to some friends, just been taking it slow. So I want to just have a bit of a relax and not focus on the book for a while. And then I'll pick up and carry on. And I will update you whenever I fancy. Well, we're certainly getting some views from Jessamine right now. This is a bit dramatic. Like, I was kind of saying, oh no, she's undercover. It's under strict instructions from Charlotte, which is why it's not being talked about to the main guys, because Charlotte's asking them to do a secret thing. But it ain't looking that way. Looks like she really is just being evil, and she's doing anything to get out of this thing, and she's with Nate now, and wow. So I'm going to keep reading. I don't know how to feel. I mean, I do feel betrayed for them. I feel awful on the gang, because they have shown Jessamine nothing but love, and she really has just thrown it back in the face. Like, what a bitch. They've just brought the Mortal Sword in. What the hell are they going to do? I know it makes people tell the truth. Maybe they just accidentally stab her with it and she'll die. That's fine. So Tessa's the child of a demon and a shadow hunter. I thought that wasn't meant to be possible. This whole thing with Jessamine's got me really confused. Like, I actually feel really bad for the girl. I mean, I don't like her, because Robbie's just asked me, like, so do you see any sort of potential redemption for her character? And I was saying, not really. Like, I don't really have any potential redemption. The only way I think I can see her being redempted is if she was under some sort of spell that made her do this rather than she chose to. But I can definitely see it in her character that she would choose to do that just to escape the life of a shadow hunter. So I wouldn't put it past her to do it, regardless of whether she had a spell on her or not. But I do feel bad for her. There's a difference between feeling bad for her and feeling as though she deserves a redemption. Like, I do feel for her because of what's happening to her now. But I can't see anything redempting her. I keep saying redempting. Is that actually a word? Let me know. But I can't. She's always been one of them characters. You just never know whether to trust her or not. And I've always kind of given her the benefit of the doubt of, oh, she'll be doing this because Charlotte's asked her to. She's undercover. It's a secret mission. And now, I don't know. Do not know how to feel. Honestly, it's very strange. So I'm up to chapter 14, which is page 330. So I've got 20 pages to go before I hit my 100 page. And now just see how I'm doing, because it's still fairly early on. It's about 5:30. So I could easily read more. We'll just have to see.
Jesus. Cassandra Clare has the things about siblings, doesn't she? Now, Nate and Tessa aren't siblings. They're cousins. Like, what is it with Cassandra Clare and siblings? Does she not like siblings? Does she have a vendetta against her siblings? Does she have siblings? She's a bit weird. So I'm doing quite well. I am on page 382. Sorry about that, camera. I'm on page 382, which means I hit my 100 pages thing, because that's 340. So I'm doing very well. I'm just going to carry on reading now. I have about 118 pages left. I could potentially finish it. I don't think I'm going to, but I could. And I'm just going to get as far as I can. So Nate's dead. And I don't know how I feel about this. He was a bad guy, so there's a part of me like, haha, you deserved it. But he also had such a real moment at the end with Tessa, where he knew he was going to die, and he wasn't sorry because that's who he was, but he seemed scared, but resigned to the fact that he was going to die, and he said that was kind of the best way for him to go because he'd failed the Magister. The Magister would make it slow. And I feel sad about it. I don't know. I always expected Nate as a villain. I never wanted a redemption arc from him because I felt as though that'd be a bit cliche. But I weren't expecting this. I didn't expect Nate, I weren't expecting him to die, frankly. I expected him maybe to die at the final hurdle. But I weren't expecting him to die in this book. It's kind of thrown me a little bit. Well, this is going to really affect Jessamine, isn't it? Are you freaking kidding me? He was never cursed. Will was never cursed. 5 years. It's been 5 years. All the people he has pushed away, all the love he could have had, and he said no. He gave up his family. And it wasn't even real. He had never been cursed. He could have been loved. He could have loved people, and he has pushed them away for nothing. This book's made me mad. I'm mad. I read it about a minute ago, and I wanted to cry. In the time it took me to get my phone ready to film, I got mad. He proposed? No. This is dramatic. Oh my god, he's proposed. Will's not got a curse, and he's going to say, Tessa, I love you. Oh my god. Oh my god, what's going to happen? There's 70 pages left. What the hell's going to happen? My life's a disaster. I wish I'd never started reading these damn books. Oh my god, it's so precious. Oh, don't break his heart. Will has just gone through a personality change, and I'm kind of digging it. Although it does make it a lot harder now to decide who Tessa should be with. I mean, she's engaged to Jem, so that'd be really bad if she was just like, yeah, bad bitch. But I don't know.
But I will say I am more convinced now than ever before one of the two will die before the end of the third book. That is an official prediction that I am confident is going to come true. I bet there's loads of ears watching now if that turns out to be false. Just like, you fool. But I think that is how it's going to end. One of them is going to sacrifice their life for the other, and Tessa's going to end up with whoever's left. That's what I'm feeling. It's a struggle because I'm trying to decide who. I feel like Jem is the obvious choice because he's dying anyway, so there's a good chance at the end of this book he will die because of his illness, or he'll sacrifice his life saying, listen, I'm dying anyway, let me do this for you. Or Will sacrifice his life so that Jem can live the life he has left with Tessa. Or they'll find a way to transfer Will's illness over to another person because it can't be escaped, but it can be transferred. Getting Doctor Who vibes with Face of Raven there. But if they found a way to do that, because, you know, they're warlocks and stuff, I imagine they'll be able to find a way to do that. Then I imagine Will, I mean, honour bound by the Parabatai, but I imagine Will would choose to do that anyway, and he'll take Jem's death. I guess I'll have to find out, won't I? So I have about 20 pages left. I don't know how that happened. I was literally just reading, then I realised I was on like page 450. I was like, guess I'm carrying on till the end. I'm on the last chapter now. Not started it yet. I'm just going to get changed to get ready, get in bed, and then I can carry on. But that just was really emotional. Will confessed how he felt to Tessa, and then Tessa had to tell him about Jem, and it was a hard life. I don't know what's going to happen. I honestly don't. Like, this is the first time I've read a love V, because it's not a triangle according to Robbie. It's the first time I've read a love V that I genuinely didn't know which way it was going to go. Like, I have like a 90% thing that she'll choose Will because I think her feelings are stronger for Will. And that's the way I've gone all the way through this. But I do think she has genuine feelings for Jem, and I think she will stick by them. So I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just 100% convinced one of them is dead by the end of the next book. I'm not ready to lose any of them. And I don't know what's happening. Jessamine's not got a bit of a redemption, so that's interesting. I'm glad, because I don't think she deserves one. But I'm interested to see where this ends off, so we can go into the next book, because I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen. And I'm finding it interesting. So I'm going to sign off now, and I will chat to you when I finish the book. I have got some strong feelings about this book. It's 3 days. I have finished this book in 3 days. Like, this is a chonker, and I think this is maybe the biggest book I've read of the Shadowhunter books. I don't know how big City of Bones is, but I know City of Ashes is quite short, and I know City of Glass is, I think that's shorter. This is the biggest. I'm making the assumption. And I read it in the quickest time. And I think, I worry about saying this, because up to now, based on where I was up to yesterday when I spoke to my friends, the Mortal Instruments, I prefer that series to the Infernal Devices. But I think this is my favourite book of them all up to now. Like, I've read 5. I've read the first 3 Mortal Instruments, Clockwork Angel and Clockwork Prince, and I think this has done it for me. I was warned that this was a bit info dumpy, and I'm going to be real. It was a little bit. I've said to Robbie that I think I was teeny tiny bit disappointed that it wasn't action-packed. Like, the ending wasn't action-filled. But I wasn't disappointed. Yeah, saying I was disappointed is the wrong thing. I weren't disappointed, but I was surprised because Cassandra Clare for me is someone who's really good at the big dramatic endings. And then we didn't get a big dramatic ending in this book.
And I'm kind of speechless right now. This is my favourite book. I'm calling it. This is my favourite book of all of the 5 I've read, and I'm so excited to carry on. It ended on a bloody cliffhanger. Okay, for starters, Henry and Charlotte are having a baby. How precious. I feel so awful on Will. But his sister's back. So he's gonna build a relationship with his siblings. But what does that mean for his parents? Because obviously if she becomes a shadow hunter and he's a shadow hunter, they can never see their parents again. So what's that mean for the parents? I'm worried about that. But Will can get his sister back, and that makes me want to cry. I didn't even, when I got to that part, when I got to that last line, I was like, bitch, what? You can't end there. Like, I never even considered the fact that that means Will's got his sister back. I was just thinking, oh, Will's sister's turned up and she wants to be trained. Now I'm thinking, Will can be with his sister. That's made me so emotional. Final thoughts on this is absolutely my favourite one. I cannot wait to carry on. I am desperate to carry on now. I really am. And a lot of my theories were really based around what I think is going to happen in book 3, such as the Will or Jem death, and the I made another prediction. The Henry, little untrusted, but I feel as though we've learned a lot about Henry now, so I don't necessarily think that he's going to be like that. I imagine we'll see Jessamine in the next book, but I'm kind of happy with where that leaves her. I'm happy. There's a part of me that thinks I need a bit of closure on that storyline, but also I don't really care about her anymore. But I want to know what's going to happen. There are still a few unanswered questions, such as the Clockwork Angel locket, what the hell Tessa actually is. Obviously, she's a combination of a demon and a shadow hunter, but demons and shadow hunters produce stillborns, so what's happening with that? And I want to know what's going to happen with everything. I want to know what's going to happen now that Will's sister is joining as a shadow hunter. I'm in shock. I am shooketh. I'm going to go lie down. And I'm so excited to carry on. That is all I can say. This is an absolute 5-star book. My favourite one of all. And I'm so excited to carry on. So thank you so much for watching this vlog. I'm going to go process my feelings because I don't know how to handle them right now. And I actually believe you will see me reading the next one a lot quicker than you think. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this series. Let me know what you thought of this book. Let me know what you think of anything I've said. Let me know what you think of my theories. Obviously don't confirm or deny because I like being surprised, but let me know what you think. Right, I'm going because I need to process my feelings. I'm just kind of sat here like, so I'm going. I'll see you later. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video.